Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brooke and this is Ammon Acres. Today it is really smoky outside. The air is very stagnant and so all the wildfire smoke is just collecting in our valley. I was going to do some water sprout trimmings and show you how I do that, but it's just too smoky and I don't want to work outside. So today I'm just going to clean the upstairs area of our house. Fun fact, our house is actually 2 stories and it is completely separate. You cannot access the upstairs from the downstairs. We will be fixing that, but it hasn't been addressed yet, and so our outside access is stairs on the outside of our house that go upstairs. Upstairs we have our home offices, which have been really helpful during COVID times, and that is where our 3 indoor cats stay. So it is kind of gross up there. It doesn't get cleaned as often. I clean it about every 2 to 3 weeks. And this time it has been about a month and it's really quite gross. So I'm gonna go up there, give it a good once over and hopefully make it a little bit more tolerable for the next work week. I thought I would bring you along, show you what I do, introduce you to those cats. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And just to clarify, we clean the litter boxes like every day, but we just don't always clean the space up there and dehair it and dust it and vacuum every day. But I wanted to say, they aren't living in squalor. It's a totally livable environment. It's just gross for me, especially because I have cat allergies. So that is my clarifying statement. Welcome to the utilitarian side of our house. It's not overly pretty. You can see in the bed in front of me, just in the last shot, that there is a green bush. It is not a green bush, it is a volunteer spaghetti squash. I have garden veggies coming out of my ears. Welcome to our upstairs. Ironically, it is a lot nicer in many ways than our downstairs area. It also has a lot more of our personal items, a lot of our memory items. This is Fiji. This is our newest addition. Say hi. Hi. This is Fiji. Who's that? That you? Yeah. She's very talkative. Yeah. As I was saying, a lot more of our personal effects are up here, and so it feels more homey up here. It also has taller ceilings, which we both like and prefer, so it's ironic that we live downstairs, but we mostly do it because we don't want to have to walk the dogs downstairs into the front yard every time they have to go potty. It's a lot easier to just open the slider. So our downstairs life is our evenings and weekends, and our upstairs life is during the work week, and they just all get love at that specific time. And in case you're wondering what the upstairs looks like, I thought I would just give you a little panorama tour. It's also our guest space. So the odd thing about this upstairs space is that at some point it was turned into 2 apartments. It apparently used to be connected downstairs. So the 2 apartments connect through that door right there. Can you come up? You want to talk? Fiji just likes to talk and tell everybody what's up. So for me, when I say it's really gross up here, what I'm talking about is things like this. So this is the chaise that's on my office side, and it is covered in cat hair. It doesn't typically have this gray hue. You want to come up? It's covered in cat hair from this one and from the other 2. And it doesn't typically have this gray hue. It's actually a cream color. And it's just kind of one of those gross things for me, and I have allergies, so I notice when I don't clean and it starts to build up. So I'm just gonna come up here, do a quick clean, or maybe not so quick, it might be a little more in depth since it's been a while. Hello. And show you what I do. I always start with this bookcase when I'm cleaning upstairs because it is the most tedious to clean, and I like to get the worst chore over first. I also clean from the top down, so I dust before I vacuum. This guy is almost as old as I am. My aunt gave him to me to catch my bad dreams, and he has been with me for probably about 30 years now. that this bookcase is what a housekeeper's nightmares are made of, because it has so many knickknacks and so many small things that have to be moved in order to dust adequately. But they are my priceless treasures. They are things from my childhood. They are things from important moments in my life. They are things of pets that have already passed along. So it's really important to me to have this bookshelf, but it is really tedious to clean. I also have an original American Girl doll, not the new Mattel ones, but the actual original Felicity that came from the American Girl doll company. I got it because my sister got Kirsten, and I was really enamored with everything she did. She was 7 years older, is 7 years older than me, and I thought everything she did was the bee's knees, so I of course needed an American Girl doll, and I was not nearly as fanatical about mine as she was about hers, but I did keep her, and my sister actually took good care of her during my early 20s when I was moving around a lot, and then she just recently gave her back to me, and I have her displayed on this shelf, and I love that history. I also have a ton of things like this that seem a little silly perhaps to an outsider to keep. They are tiny little chocolate candies inside porcelain clogs from Holland, and my aunt is a flight attendant and she has flown all over the world and she loves to travel, and she has brought me little treasures like this from all over the world, and I have so many of them. I have things like this, I have a coin from Japan, I have things that may seem a little silly if an outsider came in and saw what is on my shelves, but to me they represent memories and moments that I really value. Battling cat allergies with 3 cats in the space, I really work hard to make sure I dust as many nooks and crannies as possible. So I get down and I dust the bottom parts of furniture, I dust above the door jambs and things like that. The hazards of having cats next to blow up memories. It's from the state fair when we were dating. Something that we do that's a little bit unusual. Yes, you want to talk? You want to be a part of this? Something we do that's probably a little bit unusual is we leave the sheets on the beds. We do have mattress covers underneath the sheets, and then we leave the sheets on just as an extra layer of protection, and then we can strip it entirely when we're going to have guests and wash everything thoroughly. And that way I feel like it's not getting as much of the dander and hair into the mattress. Throughout our upstairs space, I have several blankets thrown around for the cats to lay on. This is my attempt to keep the hair a little bit more under control. So when I am cleaning, I will pull those blankets up and wash them, and this is just an easier way for me to handle the hair. I am not a big fan of having cats up on surfaces. I don't mind if they're on the couch or the chaise or ottoman, but I do mind if they are on a table, and Fiji loves to get up on my desk. So it has been an adjustment for both of us, so I am very particular about keeping it clean and dusted. I even vacuum it sometimes because her hair will get in the grooves on the table, and then I am working in a sneeze fest. So I try really hard to make sure I keep that area clean. This guy stays in my office chair because Fiji, our newest cat, likes to lay on every surface, including my office chair, and it was getting really hairy and I didn't want to sit there and sneeze while I was working. So now he just lays in my office chair and she doesn't. Welcome to the bathroom. This is cat area number 1. It's where we keep food and kitty litter, so it gets pretty gross in here with them tracking. So I'm going to be cleaning all of that up. I keep our bathroom rugs hung up on the shower doors and the shower bar in the other bathroom. I do this so that it doesn't collect litter and cat hair, and it's easier to wash and keep clean. And yes, I blare music while I am cleaning, and so you will see me singing along throughout this video. But I will spare you from listening to that. We do not keep the cat bowls on top of the toilet. I just moved them up there while I was sweeping, and so then I put them back down so that I can scrub the toilet and disinfect everything. find the cat's toy mice throughout this space, and while I was moving those slippers, I noticed that there was one in my slipper, and I thought that was pretty cute and pretty funny. You may notice that everything I can move, I do move. I tend to try and vacuum as thoroughly as possible, again, to get that cat hair up so that I am not a sneezing mess. So I move a lot of furniture when I'm vacuuming upstairs. It's very interesting because I am not as allergic to our downstairs cat, Moomy, as I am to the ones upstairs, and I'm not sure why that is. I think perhaps Moomy is just a cleaner cat. She goes out and takes dirt baths and things like that in the garden, and while that's not actually cleaner in terms of dirt, clearly, I think it does keep maybe her oils and her dander down instead of just laying in it like the cats upstairs do. Welcome to the other side of the upstairs. This side has my husband's office as well as our other guest bedroom and bathroom. This is by far the dirtier side. All of the cats like to hang out on this side, preferably, which is nice for me because I'm the one with the cat allergy, so my side stays a little bit more untouched and pristine. And this side has a lot more cat hair and dander. I'll just take you on a little tour very quickly of the dander and the hair, as well as the space. Just to give you an idea of what this space looks like, this is the main area where my husband has his office set up, and then through those double doors you can also see our second spare bedroom. I wanted to make sure to give you a nice shot of all the cat hair because this space upstairs doesn't get cluttered very much. We don't do a whole lot of our extracurricular activities or anything like that up here, but what it does get is a lot of gross cat hair. So I wanted to make sure to show you that yes, it did indeed need to be cleaned and I wasn't just faking it. On this side, I mostly just take care of the hygienic cleaning, so the vacuuming, the dusting, the scrubbing of the bathroom, and the what is a kitchenette area, but we don't use as a kitchen. It's just kind of another cat location, cat gathering space. I don't touch his desk. So we have a few agreements in our marriage. One is that I get to organize the vast majority of our spaces because I like to have my space very clean and tidy, but I do give him his areas that he can just do whatever he wants. The garage is one, the shop is the other, and his desk is the third space. So all of those spaces I am not in charge of and I just let them lie. I think eventually once the house remodel is done, I will reclaim the garage space and he'll have the shop, which is a very large shop, and his desk and whatever office space he has. And that will be what he is allowed to just let live and be free, and I won't organize for him. This blanket box was a wedding gift from my husband's first cousin once removed. I can never quite remember how those all go, but it was from a family member and he made it for us in his own mill from trees that were on his own property, and that was so special. I love that blanket box. This bookshelf is a lot easier to dust than the one on my side. There are just books for the most part. As you can see, I'm a huge fantasy nerd, so those are all mine. I also dust the tops of the books as I go. This was a new pet hair removal tool that I have had actually for quite a while. I got it at Bed Bath & Beyond as an impulse buy many years ago, and I got it for my car, and it never worked for my car on dog hair, and my husband recommended I try using it upstairs on the cat hair, and it actually worked pretty darn well. It wasn't perfect, it did leave some hairs, but it did do better than the sticky roller or the vacuum. There are other cat hair removal tools that I do want to try out. There's one that's the little scraper and things like that, and maybe I'll do a video, all that gross cat hair. Maybe I'll do the video on trying out different cat hair removal tools to see which one works best, because that is something I would love to know. I am sorry to say that after this deep clean on the couch, I went back in there about a half hour after I was done cleaning and it was already covered in hair again. So I'm looking into maybe getting a cover that I can put over the top of it and they lay on top of the cover that I can then wash, rather than having to deep clean the couch so frequently. The one issue with that is that Lucy likes to go under things. She likes to go under the covers on beds and under the sheets on beds, which is part of the reason why we leave the flat sheet on the bed rather than just the fitted sheet. So I'm not sure that that would work. You may also notice that we have all of the tape for cat scratching on our couch. We also have that on the chaise and the ottoman. Lucy and Tux are both furniture scratchers, and I've never had a cat do that before, so I really had to up my game in terms of stopping that. I love that I moved the camera so that you could see me clean the cat bed, but then you couldn't see me clean the cat bed. So just so you know, I was cleaning a cat bed. This little kitchenette area isn't really used as a kitchen, it's more of a cat central area, but we do sometimes use it a little bit as a break room. There's a microwave, a hot pot, and a full-sized fridge. That's our overflow fridge from the downstairs fridge, and we do occasionally use those things while we're working from home. When we first brought home Tux and Lucy, they loved to get up on that counter, so we had to set noise traps that would clang into the sink if they jumped up, and it broke their habit. There's not a lot to do in this room. We usually keep the doors closed. They haven't been for the last couple days just to give the cats a little more space to roam and be free, but usually these doors are kept closed just so that when we have guests who have sensitive allergies or things like that to cats, they can have this side and be a little more protected. So I'm just going to do a little bit of light dusting and vacuuming, and then I should be good. If you're wondering what that item is that I just moved, that is a dog wheelchair. Our dog Chunk had some limb ataxia when he was going through his last few months, and so we bought him that wheelchair, and he never used it because he was too afraid of it. That last shot looked dramatically different from the one just before it because we are now 4 hours later. What happened was my camera ran out of memory, and so I went to download that onto my computer, and my computer was out of memory as well. So all these files take up a lot of space with videos. So I went to Costco really quick and bought an external hard drive, downloaded all of those things, and then started cleaning again. Toy mouse! This is what I mentioned earlier about having all those blankets that I could then wash. So I do wash these every time I clean, including all of the bathroom rugs as well, so that our guests have some clean linens and things like that, and they're not walking around in cat hair or cat litter. I do keep separate cleaning supplies upstairs and down, including an upstairs vacuum and a downstairs vacuum. The advantages of getting married after both of you already own a vacuum, because it's just easier for me to do. I am done. I have cleaned everything in the entire upstairs area. I cleaned both office spaces, both bedroom spaces, all of our exercise equipment, and both bathrooms. There was a lot of cat hair. I'm kind of congested and sniffly, so I'm gonna go take a much deserved shower. But I want to know if this helped motivate you. I want to know if it helped you get out and clean your own space. If it did, let me know by liking, subscribing. Tell me in the comments how you handle your cat hair, because the tool I used was better than any tool I've used in the past, but it still wasn't perfect, and so I'd love to know what tips and tricks you have to control your cat hair in your space. Until next time, I will see you in the next video. And maybe Fiji will make a little appearance. Hi. Hi, you want some snuggles? Come here. Come here, you want snuggles? Oh, he wants to be on camera. He wants to be on camera. He says, Mommy, I'm gonna be a star. I'm gonna be a star. Now wait on me, hand and foot. That's right. That's right. Amy's gonna be a star.